Welcome back to Raider football as we are going to be on the road this week to take on the Cleveland Browns and their incredible defense. It's going to be a tough challenge, but in the last episode, we've seen just how explosive and fun this offense can really be, and we'll see if they'll have the same success. Now, this is week 3 as we simulated week 2 against the Los Angeles Chargers, and we have the results of that game right here where the Raiders go to 2-0, and Thomas DeShong looked a lot like he did in week 1. Had some good, had some bad, some touchdowns, some picks, some turnovers. It is what it is, but we are 2-0. And after what the Chargers did to us late last season, it's nice to get a win against them. But as we refocus to this week, we are not going to be facing a team like the Browns very often, with Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith on each side, and just an incredible defense. No disrespect to the teams we have already faced this season, but they don't have quite the difference makers that this Browns defense has, and it's going to be a tough challenge for Thomas DeShong and all the young pieces of this offense. We'll see if we can go to 3-0 against the Cleveland Browns. Raiders and Browns is up next. The Browns will get the football first. Deshaun Watson, still the quarterback here in Cleveland, will take the field. He has not had a good start to his season. It was disappointing when he first came here. It was disappointing last year, and so far, it's been disappointing. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and we'll see how much longer the Browns want to give Watson a chance. As on first down, he sets up the screen, but it's incomplete to Nick Chubb. And on second down, Watson to the air once again, and he throws it over the middle, and he has Amari Cooper, who is going to be a tough cover for any one of the secondary members. We're going to hope we see him in the slot a bit so we can get Nate Hobbs on him. As an incomplete pass for Watson, and now they hand it to Nick Chubb. Took him long enough to give it to Chubb, and he gets a first down carry to the 46-yard line. As in the shotgun play action, Nick Chubb will throw outside, and he has his man. It's caught. First down and more. And already at the 27-yard line is Watson in the offense to throw. Deshaun will have an underneath pass, and it's caught once again for a first down to the 14-yard line. The Browns are moving it fast. Watson throwing underneath and trying to get it to Nick Chubb. Marietta breaks it up. And now in the pistol formation, read option, and they give it to Chubb. And it's just going to be a 2 1-yard gain. And third down now for Watson, throwing outside, short of the sticks, breaking a tackle or two. It's not going to be enough, as it's going to be a field goal try, and the Browns very early on waste no time putting up points on the board. But here we get to see Thomas DeShong come out onto the field. He's been exciting as a rookie. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but he's also got some production on the ground that cannot be overlooked. It's going to be a tough ask for him to go against Myles Garrett in this incredible defense, as Josh Jacobs, who had a bit of a downer in week 1, picked it up in week 2. We'll see what he does in week 3, as DeShong was hit as he's thrown, and it's incomplete. Third down. DeShong throws outside. He's got a wide open Jacoby Myers, and Myers gets knocked out of bounds, but he gets close to midfield and plenty enough for a first down. And here goes DeShong on the read option, and Thomas DeShong has 11 yards, and he ducks out of bounds. We want him playing it safe. We don't want to see him getting hurt. But there goes Josh Jacobs, and he's got a lot of room. He's running for the end zone, and Josh Jacobs gets brought down at the 1-yard line. A 43-yard gain, and we are set up first and goal at the 1. Big package. Direct snap to DeShong, who runs it in. Touchdown, Raiders. And Thomas DeShong gets a rushing touchdown once again. And Josh Jacobs set us up for that touchdown, as the run game looking dangerous with these two. Watson now in the gun will just tuck and run, and Watson will get himself about 10 or 11 yards, and he gets a first down. Pistol formation, play action. Watson will throw underneath to the fullback, and the fullback runs himself ahead for an 8-yard gain. Now shotgun formation, read option again, and Watson's going to use his legs to get a big run, and they're going to try to utilize their running ability for their quarterback, as Watson to the air, now outside, caught, and, a nice 8-yard gain. Shotgun now, as this offense is moving very well, and they've done it in the passing game, but there's Divine Diablo. It's an overthrown ball, and it's picked off. Divine Diablo was just in the right place at the right time, and Watson just overthrew it. He had two guys in the area, missed them both, but he found Divine Diablo, so we'll take that as on first down. RPO, throwing it up to Kalen Shanny, who had the kick return touchdown back in week 1, and we're going to see more of him on offense, we hope, as Josh Jacobs will get himself a first down. But Kalen Shanny's a guy, we just want the ball in his hands somehow, as Deshaun to the air, and there's Myles Garrett, and he's lining up on the left and right already this game. Here he is on the right side now, and I don't know if anyone on this team can really hang with him as we go with Michael Mayer underneath, but it's going to be 3rd and 19, and Deshaun's going to be running for his life trying to get away from Myles Garrett. But now up the middle, that's a sack from Dalvin Tomlinson, and this is going to be a tough job for this offensive line as there's Nate Hobbs swatting down a ball. Great job. Nate Hobbs has had a great start to his season so far, as here he is getting in on a tackle from Amari Cooper, and it's going to be 3rd and 5. As Watson, clean pocket, and he throws a low one for Amari Cooper, but he was so open that he was able to catch that ball. As Watson throws, and it's intercepted again! Divine Diablo! He missed Elijah Moore, and Divine Diablo, right place, right time, once again, and the Raiders take over. Divine Diablo, 2 picks in this game already, as Josh Jacobs breaks a tackle, and Josh Jacobs running ahead. I don't know how he got out of that pile of humanity there for a first down, as Deshaun pump fake. He's going to throw it deep for a wide open Jaden Sharu, and it's caught down at the 13-yard line. Sharu got free, and it's going to be a 13-yard line first down snap for Deshaun, who's going to run up ahead, and he only gets a yard, but better than taking a sack, as Deshaun will hand off Josh Jacobs, trying to get to the edge, but he can't. That's a great tackle. 3rd and 10. Deshaun will get hit as he's thrown, incomplete, but that big pass play to Sharu will set up a 3-point field goal try, and Daniel Carlson will knock it through. 10-3. Nice to get at least some points off the turnover, as Nick Chubb absolutely runs through our man as he gets himself 2 yards. And Nick Chubb back to the ground. I'm surprised they haven't ran it more with Chubb. They've been trusting Watson in the air despite his struggles this season. And in this game, as Watson on the read option tried to run ahead for that first down and couldn't get it. Deshaun now on the play action. Almost picked off. Probably should have been, as Deshaun got away with one there. Now we'll just go read option. And nowhere to go. There was everybody there ready for it. It's 3rd and 8. Deshaun will run around, and there's nowhere to go. So many defenders are shedding off our offensive line, and Deshaun's just not getting a whole lot of time in there, as he is not really equipped to throw the ball quickly. It's something Deshaun's got to get better at, and Deshaun Watson missed an open man potentially as they go to draw play to Nick Chubb on 3rd down. It gets him a nice gain, but they're just going to punt the football away as we hand off C.J. Ham on the triple option. He loses a yard, as Deshaun now will drop to throw, and Deshaun will throw, and that's a dangerous pass to Jonnu Smith, and it's knocked away. Could have been intercepted again. Now 3rd down, we just set up a tight end screen from Michael Mayer, not wanting to risk putting the ball in harm's way, as we are already so far backed up, but the Browns are going to get good field position to start this drive, and they got an open man. That's Amari Cooper, as Gabe Marietta was caught on an island looking at Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore wide open. Not much he could really do there, as Watson throws underneath. It's incomplete as it gets knocked away. Now Watson to the air once again, and he has a catch. First down to the 8-yard line, as Deshaun Watson now will have all the time in the pocket, but a tuck and run. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson. It's been a tale of one team getting a lot of pass rush and one team getting very little. That's been the difference so far, as the scoreboard does not indicate that because of 2 Deshaun Watson interceptions, but it's been a difficult task for the trenches as the Browns are thoroughly dominating in that area of the game, which you would expect from an elite offensive line, an elite defensive line, and someone like Myles Garrett to chase down your 4-4 speed QB and force a fumble and set the Browns up in great field position to score from the 11-yard line, as Watson will miss his man, but it doesn't matter, as it seems like the Browns are going to come away with points on this drive, and they try to test a ball in the end zone with 2 defenders in the area. That was Hobbs and Marietta. Now it's 3rd down and 10. Watson's going to run again, and Deshaun Watson does not get the first down. We burn a timeout to try to save some time as the Browns kick a field goal to go ahead. Now we take over with a Josh Jacobs handoff, and Jacobs bursting through the line to get himself a nice first down carry, but we are running out of time. We'll see if we can get a big play to potentially give us a reason to want to take a big shot at a field goal or maybe even a touchdown, as Deshaun will set up a screen to Jacoby Myers and does not really go anywhere. Now we burn a timeout, our final one, and Deshaun, can he get a big hitter? No, he has to throw it away because Myles Garrett's in his face. And it's 3rd down. We're just going to run the football. And Myles Garrett blew it up. Couldn't make the tackle, but he still blew up the play. That'll take us to halftime. And it's been a struggle. The passing attack has been poor because Myles Garrett has blown up everything. I mean, even when Colton Miller has been on him, Myles Garrett's still dominating this game. And this is a weak offensive line, aside from Colton Miller. And even then, like I said, Colton Miller's having his struggles. It's just hard to block one of the best players in all of football, and Deshaun is not equipped to get the ball out quickly. He's still trying to run around. This ain't college. He's going to have to learn that you can't run around. You can't outrun Myles Garrett. So we'll see if in the second half we could do a bit better trying to avoid Myles Garrett and him terrorizing our offense. The second half is underway with the Raiders on offense as we go first down handoff. Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs already getting it going with a big run, and I think we need to get him the ball a bit more as we are going with Jacobs once more. And he gets a gain of 1, but Jacobs has had a nice day so far. It's now read option. They weren't expecting that. Thomas Deshaun trying to make a man miss. If he would have got to the outside, that would have been dangerous. But we will take a first down carry as Jacoby Myers on a bubble screen. I think just let it bounce right off his hands, and that's going to be a costly one. As Deshaun to the air now, 2nd and long. We're going to launch one, and Deshaun up in the air for Shanny, but it's incomplete. 2 men in the area. Now we're in trouble as Deshaun on 3rd and long. Hit as he's thrown. He panicked, and it's picked off. As Deshaun panicked, and he's going to go all the way. Touchdown, Cleveland. And the Browns with the pick 6. Deshaun, worst of all, is injured on the play. He took a big hit from 2 guys on the play. And P.J. Walker, the former Panther quarterback, is in the game. As now we're really in trouble. Down by 10, and Walker missed it. 3 and out for the Raider offense as Deshaun. We'll see if he's okay. But Deshaun, once we got into that 3rd and long, he's been struggling in these situations because he's trying to run around, make a play, as that was one of the things we talked about coming out of Oregon. He plays a little bit of hero ball. He tries to make a great play. He tries too hard to do the best thing instead of just doing the right thing. And it costs us a pick 6. And potentially, we'll see how much he's hurt. But hopefully not too bad, as now the Browns up by 10. Moving down the field with the run game as they are past midfield. Read option. They hand it to Nick Chubb, and Nick Chubb will get 7 yards as they are now in scoring position. Already in field goal range as Nick Chubb will get brought down by Max Crosby, but he gets the first down. Now Watson to the air. The throw underneath. Incomplete, broken up. Gabe Marietta's been all over the football when it's been thrown on that side. So I think Marietta's played a decent game. As 3rd and 9 now, we're setting Watson up in a difficult 3rd and long situation, but he fires one outside, and it's incomplete. Marietta shoved him for good measure, even though it looked like he dropped the football, but the Browns are going to tack on a field goal. It's still a 2-score game, but P.J. Walker, concerningly, is still in the game, and I have the update to let you know that Deshaun has been ruled out for the rest of this game, and it's going to be P.J. Walker for the last quarter plus, as he's going to have to try to lead a 13-point comeback against a really, really good Cleveland defense. As Walker now play action rollout. Myles Garrett's chasing. He gets the football off to Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu Smith will get 3 yards as it is 2nd and 7. Walker to the air, and a nice pocket, but he missed it outside, and that's a bad throw Third down play action, and Myles Garrett gets undercut by Josh Jacobs, but it's thrown into practically triple coverage, so that great block really doesn't net us anything. Now Watson and the offense take over, and Watson throwing on the run. It's picked up by Max Crosby. We drop Max Crosby back in coverage, and he reads it and picks the football off. And what can't Max Crosby do as we are set up in scoring position? Trying to make this a one-score game. This would be huge if we can punch this into the end zone, as Walker will throw underneath. He has his man Sharu close to a first down, 3rd and inches. Josh Jacobs will fight ahead. He doesn't get it, 4th and inches. And we're going to hand off Josh Moss, the big power back, and Josh Moss has the first down. And Moss ruled down at the 7-yard line. Now we hand off Josh Jacobs. Can he get to the edge? He cuts it inside, and he gets us to the 3-yard line. Not a bad job from Jacobs there. Walker now hands off Josh Jacobs. Touchdown Raiders. And the Raiders cut this to a one-score game as the 4th quarter is underway. And maybe if the defense can come up with another couple of big plays, we can find a way to win this game. It is a 6-point game with over 10 to go. Watson will hand off. That's going to be Nick Chubb on the outside, and Nick Chubb to just about midfield as Nick Chubb with a 25-yard run to kick off the drive, and the Browns doing a great job to start this possession off as they go with the same play basically to the other side, and Nick Chubb makes an incredible spin move, and he manages to get 7 yards when he was done in the backfield. Now they run it inside with him, 3rd and inches. Can we have a big hold here? Watson on the keeper, and Watson cuts it inside, and he gets the first down. Now the Browns hand it off. And there goes Chubb again, and Nick Chubb. And when the 4th quarter hits and everyone is tired, Nick Chubb, that's when he thrives because he does not get tired. It's now to the end zone. Nate Hobbs knocks it away. 2nd down. And the Browns will hand off Nick Chubb once again. First down, he sets them up, goal to go at the 5-yard line. And now Watson spreading the field. He will throw outside, caught before progress is going to get him to the 2-yard line despite being knocked down. Now they hand it off. No, they fake it. Deshaun Watson, touchdown Cleveland. And that's going to be a 2-score game once again. And that might be the thing that makes this deficit a little too much to overcome for the Raiders, as now they go for 2 to make it a full 14-point game, and they get it nice and easy. David Njoku, haven't called his name much this game, but he got the 2-point conversion there. Now PJ Walker in a play action. Walker will step up, and he gets hit as he's thrown, and it's incomplete. Walker on 2nd down will throw, and has Shanny underneath wide open. Shanny using his speed to run ahead for a 3rd and 1 situation where Walker quickly throws it outside, and Walker missed the bubble screen to Sharu. It's 4th and 1. We go Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs gets blown up, and guess who? Myles Garrett again. And the Browns are taking over inside our 30-yard line. Watson will throw one out quickly to Chubb, but that's going to be probably the game ender, as we could not even convert on 3rd and 4th and 1. Njoku down, but Watson will throw it off the head of Nick Chubb, who wasn't ready for the football, but that field goal is going to make it a 3-score game and basically put this one to bed. So we will just kind of show the highlights on 3rd down here. Shanny, nice play from him to use his speed to get open. Now we skip ahead to 3rd and 10 nearing midfield play action. Walker, and PJ Walker will load up and throw to an open man, and he missed him. Jacoby Myers was wide open. It's 4th and 10, and we're going for it. We're still trying to fight a little bit as we have an open man, and PJ Walker missed it again. Getting flashbacks to Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell, as this has been a difficult offense without Thomas Deshaun. But Deshaun Watson is still running his way down the field. Now they go Nick Chubb. Hand off Nick Chubb. All the room in the world. Touchdown Cleveland. And that's going to put this game to bed. Final score, 41 points for the Browns and 17 for our Raiders. And everything was looking at least competitive and decent until Deshaun went down. I think that, 20 to 10, I was still confident that this team could figure it out if we could just get the ball out quicker and make some plays, that we could win this game. But with PJ Walker in the game, it just wasn't happening. as Deshaun didn't exactly play amazingly with Myles Garrett in his face, but Walker played even worse, I'd say, as we can see how bad this offense can potentially be when the pass rush is getting to us, and everything is just a little bit harder. I can't confirm, though, that Deshaun is okay. He will be back next game. It was just a game-ending injury, and speaking of that next game, we will be simulating that right now against the Carolina Panthers, which we lose 35-28, and Deshaun plays his best game through the air with 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, no picks, but unfortunately, it was the defense letting us down as we still have some deficiencies on the defensive side of the football. We are 2-2 though, and overall I'm pretty happy with the start of the season for our Raiders. I think 2-2 is perfectly fine, and we've seen the good and we've seen the bad of this team. But up next, now we got the college football update this week. This is your college football update, the second one of this season, and in the polls, not a crazy amount has changed, but we did have one big upset, as you know how it works for these teams in weeks 1 and 2. They're scheduling the non-conference opponents, and they're not really trying to, make the big mistakes, and they're trying to just feel out the team and see who's good, who's not good. But we had some conference play early on in the season, as in week 2, we had Oregon at number 8 go down to Washington State. Washington State jumps all the way up from unranked all the way up to number 14 now, and Oregon drops completely out of the top 15 as they have not looked good without Thomas Deshaun on their team, and we can really see just how valuable he was to their team. But elsewhere in the college football world, as we go back to week 1, USC put on a show in week 1 as they were a highlight game. They faced San Diego State and absolutely obliterated them, where Lance Bowen threw 300 plus yards and 4 touchdowns. Riley Cordula almost 150 and a touchdown in their debut, and they're at the top of the Heisman watch for a reason, as they are going to be the most dynamic connection in all of college football this season. And we will get to Riley Cordula later in the season, as he is a player I have talked about last season and this season. But in the college football world, we had Penn State knocking out Washington, as Washington was the 15th ranked team and, scraping by, as they had lost a lot of players to graduation and the NFL. Penn State, though, who looks really good this year, and we will be talking about that man at the bottom right, Dexter Parker. We'll be talking about him in a little bit. They look really good in their defenses, as advertised so far. As we look forward to what you will be hearing from next episode, and finally college football gets underway in weeks 3 and 4, we have Oregon, USC, we have Miami, Florida State, we have Alabama, LSU once again, Texas A&M, Baylor, and Michigan, Iowa. You'll be hearing from all of those games in next episode. But now let's get into some of these players, and as promised, we will get to Dexter Parker right now. During the draft special this past off-season, I let you know when the Jets were on the clock at 23 and they picked Penn State edge rusher Warren Farr, that there was another Penn State edge rusher who was far superior to Warren Farr, and we'd be talking about him in the following season. And here he is, Dexter Parker, a certified top 5 pick player who is an incredible, certified, number 1, true, elite edge rush talent. Like, he is that guy who you bring in and he's your guy. He is your edge. He is your TJ Watt, your Myles Garrett, I'm not saying the caliber of player, but he's in that role. He's your superstar player. And that's, I guess, the projection of him. Now, in his NFL comp, I went, play style wise, Rashawn Gary. And I think that this might even be crazy to say, but I think Rashawn Gary is closer to his floor than maybe his ceiling, as Rashawn Gary is a great edge rusher, and I think Dexter Parker is going to be a great edge rusher, but I think he could be far superior to Rashawn Gary. I think Rashawn Gary is closer to what you're getting maybe as a floor. Maybe that's a little crazy to say, but I really think Dexter Parker is an incredible talent. He can do just about anything. Like, he can finesse, he can power. He's not, I guess, elite athlete. He is not elite at, one particular area, but there's no area that he is weak at. He is just good to great at everything. And if there is a negative, which as you can see that there aren't many negatives, it's that he isn't an insane athlete. He's not going to come out and break the combine like Trayvon Walker did, or he's not going to be a physical specimen like Chase Young. He's not going to do all that, but he's an incredible player. And the biggest weakness of him as a player is sometimes he gets a little ambitious going for the football. He forced 5 fumbles this past year. He's probably going to force another couple of fumbles this year. He's a master of that technique where you run around the edge and the quarterback's, drop the throw and he just smacks him right on the wrist, just knows exactly where to hit the hand and hit the arm, where the ball's going to come flying out. He's a master at that, and he will create a couple of turnovers every season just purely off getting to the quarterback and getting those strip sacks. But because of that, when he's facing a bigger quarterback or a guy who can, shed him, he's going to miss a couple of sacks because he's going for the fumbles. And something you maybe need to drill into him, like, hey, just go for the sack sometimes. You don't need to always go for the football, but some people are going to love that. And I love that he's going to try to create the biggest plays. As, when you're forcing that many turnovers as an edge rusher, it's something really special about that. And it's a game changer. A sack is nice, but a turnover is a whole lot better. I think he is straight up the second best pure prospect in this draft, and he's going to be a number 1 guy for whoever takes him. And I'd be shocked if he fell out of the top 5, especially with edge rusher being such a valuable position in this league. He is carried this defense to now what is a top 10 ranking, and he's got some better supporting pieces around him this season, and we'll see if he can help catapult Penn State all the way to the playoffs this season, as at number 9, they aren't too far away, and with Ohio State and other teams around them maybe a bit on the decline, we'll see if Penn State's the team that can ascend all the way to the playoffs this year. Let's get to a running back, and I think that of all the comps that I've made for these players, this one's about as accurate as it gets, as Kyle Bobo, the likely 3rd round running back for Iowa State. He just is Raheem Mostert, basically. I think Raheem Mostert, the only thing that I think is a drastic difference between the two is Mostert's a bit better of a pass catcher than Bobo, but Kyle Bobo, Iowa State has been a mainstay of the top 15 last year and now this year. And they've got a lot of players in this draft. They've got a lot of nice players. They don't have a lot of elite, top 10 guys. There's not going to be anyone at Iowa State going that high, at least not last year and not this year. But they just got a lot of NFL dudes, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round guys who are just all really solid contributors and make a really good team altogether. Kyle Bobo's that guy on offense for them. I would be, again, shocked if he ran something not in the 4.3s. I think it's more likely that he runs in the 4.2s than the 4.4s. So he is probably going to be the fastest running back in this class. And for a guy at 5'10", 207 with 4.4 or 4.3 speed, I should say, he will be surprisingly powerful and will break some tackles. And he comes from an offense that is a zone run, Kyle Shanahan type scheme, and he would be a perfect fit on a team like the Dolphins, on the Niners. He's going to be a perfect fit, and he is basically Raheem Mostert. Like, I don't know what else to really say aside from the fact that if he's a 1-to-1 comparison to him, except with Raheem Mostert, when he came into the NFL, he bounced around practice squads, and Raheem Mostert was a wide receiver at Purdue and turned running back, wasn't all that productive, so he went undrafted. He had to fight a little bit to get into the league. So with Bobo, he's a guy who was a running back from day one. He was productive in college, so he's gonna get drafted, and you're gonna get him a bit earlier in his career. Instead of Mostert probably making an impact at 25 in the league, Bobo's gonna be making an impact at 22 in the league. So you're gonna get a couple more years of his best years. So I think that, what Raheem Mostert has done in his career, he has flashed incredible, games, especially that NFC Championship game against the Packers where he ran for over 200 yards. And the dude will go off any given week, but he's dealt with some injuries. He started a bit late. Bobo can be a guy who can maybe almost tell us what Raheem Mostert's career would have looked like without injuries if he doesn't get hurt. If he did get started at 22, 21 years old, So I think for that reason, he's an intriguing prospect, especially for these zone run teams. At college, this past season, he ran for over 1,000 yards on less than 200 carries. And as a pass catcher, like I said, he's alright. He's not going to be amazing, but he's not awful. And I would say he is a running back, like Mostert, is better in a committee. He's not going to be your certified number one dude at running back. He's not going to be a workhorse, bell cow, 3-down dude. He's going to be a guy who should be splitting reps with another person. But for a third-round pick, maybe he can sneak into the second. Maybe he'll fall to the fourth. I don't know. I'm thinking third round is very likely for Kyle Bobo. But for a third-round pick, I think you're getting a really decent player, and you know what you're getting with Kyle Bobo. It's not like he's got a crazy upside, but you're getting a very, very solid piece of your backfield. Our third and final player we will be talking about is interior defensive lineman Timothy Steele from TCU, as TCU's got a real shot to make the playoffs this year, and if it's going to be, if it's going to happen this year, it's going to be on defense at least because of Timothy Steele, as we have a couple of players to talk about on this TCU team throughout this season. And I have him going mid to late first round. I think that's very fair. I lean more towards mid first round because I think he's going to have a really nice combine, which will shoot him up draft boards. Overall, I think he's going to be a very nice player. He is a 3-down interior defensive lineman. A lot of teams, when they take these mid to late day 2, day 3 guys, they're looking for specialist rotational pieces, guys who can pass rush on third down, run stoppers. Timothy Steele can do it all. He is a person who does not tire out despite being a 300-pounder, and for a 300-pounder, not only does he not tire out, he's a very nice athlete. He's going to run a decent 40 time. He's going to be fairly strong. I think he should look to get stronger. I think he needs to bulk up a little bit for the NFL, and that's, I guess, a negative, but it's something that's easily fixable. Just bulk up a little bit. You can teach that. You can work with that. And I would say also he doesn't have any elite skills. I think the closest thing he will have is elite speed and elite athleticism at agility, and he moves well for a 300-pounder, but I again would say he doesn't have any pure elite traits or skills at the defensive tackle position. And I'd say he's not a scheme fit for everyone, because if you're looking for a big nose tackle in a 3-4 defense, he's not your guy. But he'll fit in a lot of different defenses, and he's going to run defend well. He's going to pass rush well. He can hold his own there, as he got 4.5 sacks at the interior position and 16 tackles for loss. And I think he's only, trending upwards and only getting better. And if I had to give him a comparison, I'd say the optimistic outlook for him is Cam Hayward of the Steelers. Cam Hayward, lines up in that interior, is also, around that 300-pound mark, and he moves pretty well for a 300-pounder. He can do a little bit of everything. He will get a couple of sacks every once in a while, and he runs defense very well. I think if you're looking for an optimistic, outlook on what Timothy Steele could be, it is Cam Hayward, but I think he could be a bit more of an athletic version of him, which could be scary, but, he needs to bulk up, needs to get stronger. If he can get bigger and stronger, I'd say gain, a couple pounds, get those bench reps up for the combine. I think he'll be shooting up to the middle of the first round. We'll see, but he is a key contributor of this TCU defense, and for my money is the top just pure D tackle on the board. But that will do it for this episode, as we have one final little move to make. As you can see, the Steelers' backfield has been decimated by injuries this season, and we have looked pretty decent at the running back position as we trade Zamir White to the Steelers for a 6th-round pick. Zamir White had not seen the field not a single time, as we have, Damian Harris hasn't even seen the field. Zach Moss has emerged as a key contributor, potentially as an undrafted free agent, and of course Josh Jacobs. So Zamir White wasn't really needed on this team anymore. But in the next episode, we'll be taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road, and I'm excited for that game. Trevor Lawrence, Thomas DeShong, I will see you in the next one.